Sometimes it's pretty awesome to have movies as your main interest. Usually, a lot of movies you want to see that you really look forward to end up disappointing, but then there are those few occasions, like I guess one in every four, where a movie that you have semi high expectations for but exceed your expectations. Today I was going to go see The King's Speech, the movie that is probably, and I guess hopefully most people are saying, give Colin Firth his first Oscar. However, that did not happen. See, this is the 4th of February, which means that is the day that King's Speech comes out here, the day Yogi Bear comes out here. I'm not going to go see that one. Partly because they only have Swedish dubbing for it, and that is extra not going to make me go see that horrible movie. But it's also the day that Disney's Tangled came out here. Now, if there's one thing that you need to understand about me, it's that I am a sucker for animated movies. Be it Pixar, DreamWorks, or any other, I love animation. I've always loved cartoons, I've loved animation since I was a little kid, and unlike most people, I have always embraced it ever since then. No matter what it's been, I've always kept loving animated movies. In fact, I have the entire 3 bottom shelves of my DVD case, like my DVD section here, is just, animated movies, anime on the down, and then superheroes, Disney on DVD, and then a whole Blu-ray shelf, and that's double stacked, so there are more animated movies in behind there, and my entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection is somewhere behind here. So yeah, there's a lot of animated movies in this house. In fact, I recently saw Bolt for the first time. Same day as my Winter's Bone review, I watched Bolt, and was surprised to find that was actually a pretty good animated movie for being Disney. Disney has really gone downhill in their animated department since, I guess you would say, The Lion King. The Lion King was really the last time that Disney ever really did anything worthwhile when it comes to animation. They've tried and tried again. Princess and the Frog was okay. I've heard good things about Emperor's New Groove, so maybe I shouldn't completely speak out of turn, since that's the one movie I haven't seen. I guess The Wild. I haven't seen The Wild or Dinosaur either, but I've heard bad things about those movies, so I don't really feel like it either. I guess Emperor's New Groove is the one thing that's missing. But anyway, so Tangled, the 50th Disney movie in the line. Disney has gone back to their roots. Last time with Princess and the Frog, which I guess most people are just going to write off as being the excuse to get an African American to the Disney princesses line, and that's probably true. It's a pretty good movie. Nothing wrong with The Princess and the Frog. In fact, I was pleasantly surprised by the movie. The only problem is that, it didn't stick. I don't really remember The Princess and the Frog. I liked it, but far from loved it. It wasn't a classical Disney movie, not in the sense I will remember it and like it. I have it up on, right there on the shelf I showed you, and I cannot see a scenario when I would want to rewatch The Princess and the Frog. I can't see that. But that brings me to today's subject, Tangled. As I said, Princess and the Frog, that's the most classic fairy tale that Disney hasn't tackled. So only naturally they follow that up by taking one I've actually wondered about. When they did Sleeping Beauty, it was almost like a shock. Why didn't you make Rapunzel? Guess now it was time for the 50th. Computer generated, starring Mandy Moore as Rapunzel and Zachary Levi from TV's Chuck as her love interest, Flynn Rider. It's this. I was a little skeptical at first. Computer generated, it looks really kiddie, but it was, oh my god, I was so surprised. I went for the first showing. The premiere was today, first day, first showing. There are very few English showings of this film. I'm actually going to try and go see it again because I liked it that much. But, because I was really surprised. I thought I would like it, but I sort of thought it would be like Princess and the Frog, where I would like it and respect its place in Disney history, but not go a lot further than that. I thought that, technically I'm not like much for the classical fairy tales. I respect them for what they do. Sleeping Beauty is freaking awesome. You know, the fairies are extremely funny in that movie. Even though the princess and the prince are pretty much like they're just there to drive the plot forward. The characters in that movie that matter are Maleficent and the three fairies. Other than that, our couple is uninteresting. Sleeping Beauty, yeah, and then there's Cinderella, which is, again, Cinderella just has that one want. She's an object. She gets pushed around, and we feel sorry for her. She just as well could be like a statue that someone was, like birds were pooping on. You'd still feel bad for her, but it's not her personality that makes us latch on to her. It's the things that people do to her, not the things she tells us or we experience through her. And then there's Snow White, which, yeah, again, Snow White doesn't really have that much of a character. She's this nice young girl, but she's not really developed that much. In that sense, Disney has definitely gotten better in later years with Princess Jasmine, Ariel. They've gotten better at developing, especially their female characters, because for some reason the male characters have always been more developed. I wonder why. But Tangled is probably the best. Like, I almost think that Rapunzel is like probably the best Disney, like the best Disney female character, like since, probably any, because even though this is a classic love story like man and woman, Rapunzel's in charge here. She's very gentle and cute and nice in her command, but she's still in command. Like in Aladdin, Jasmine gets to see more of the world because Aladdin, in form of Prince Ali, shows her more. He allows her to come with him on this journey. Ariel wants to get the prince's dick. She wants to be human so they can have sex. It's that simple. Like it's the sexuality thing, and here it's not really that. Rapunzel has spent her life in a tower. Flynn has stolen the crown that really belongs to Rapunzel from the castle, and is on the run and climbs into her tower and tries to to escape the law. And she kidnaps him and tells him that I'll let you go, and I'll give you back the crown, which she doesn't realize is her crown. She'll give it back when he has taken her to see these magical, like these lanterns that her parents, the king and queen, send up every year on her birthday in hopes that their daughter will one day come back to them. You know, it's, again, classical fairy tale fare. But that's what's the best part of this movie, is that it's perfectly balanced. This movie is perfectly balanced between, unlike The Princess and the Frog, where it's somehow trying to recapture the classicalness of old Disney, yet almost wink and nod, haha, get it, we understand that we're being cliched. This movie has the cliches, but at the same time, it's not trying to make fun of the cliches like I feel like sometimes The Princess and the Frog was trying to do. Here, it's just taken for what it is. The characters are... But I feel like both Rapunzel and Flynn are just along for the ride. They don't really know what's going on, but as long as it's going on, they're going to try and have fun. And when they have fun, we have fun. You realize these characters are going to fall in love. I even think they realize it within like 5 minutes of them stepping outside of the castle, like outside of her tower. But again, it doesn't matter. You can't help but love these characters for what they're doing. Like, the visuals are so great, and the 3D actually works here. I'm really surprised. I really like this movie in 3D, and in fact, that's probably why I'm going to go see it at least once more in the theater, because especially, like, the scenes with... there's this scene where they get to these lanterns, and these lanterns are all around them, and I've heard people draw parallels between this and the ballroom scene in Beauty and the Beast, because that was all magical and fantastical, and those those like parallels are actually warranted. It's really beautiful, and that was one of the moments I was almost like awestruck with my mouth open in the theater. I was like, "Oh my god, this is so beautiful." I don't really want to spoil too much, like what happens in the story wise. As I said, it's the classic story of Rapunzel. She's been kidnapped by a witch who wants to be eternally young because Rapunzel has the ability to heal wounds and keep you forever young, and her hair is the magical power that keeps it that way. That's why she has the long hair. I don't know. It's just everything in this movie works. It's a magic musical movie, and I don't think the songs are strong enough for me to remember that much. I remember only one song really, two. I remember "When Will My Life Begin," which is Rapunzel singing about like how she's been locked away and she wonders when she'll get out because that's when her life will officially begin. And the mother, played by Donna Murphy, like the mother. That's got her trapped in the tower, her singing about "Mother Knows Best," and that's just because that song wasn't a song I really liked. It was just because that song repeated over and over again. I think everything about this movie is so well thought out. Rapunzel is so cute. Her eyes are like these really big doe eyes, like eyes that were, if she really existed, if you saw her walking down the street, you'd be like, whoa, Chernobyl victim coming down. But she's so cute that you wish that you were Flynn. You wish you could marry this girl, because she is so cute. She has this, like, Mandy Moore manages to really just capture this innocence and, like, you know, this curious yet very protective like thing that Rapunzel is going through, because she has this big dilemma that's almost a little too overspoken, where she's all like, ooh, I really want to see what's going on here, but I'm also pretty fucking scared because, you know, I've never been outside before. It's just really interesting. They really thought this through. The only thing plot-wise that isn't thought out, or isn't explored enough, is that once Rapunzel realizes, because, spoiler, Rapunzel realizes, like, halfway through the movie, oh, wait a minute, my mother isn't my mother, I'm the princess, how can my mother do this to me? They never really explore the duality of, because, on one hand, Rapunzel's mother has been using her this whole time, but she's still her mother, technically. She's been her mother for about, 16 years, because this is taking place on her 18th birthday. She's been the mother of Rapunzel for almost her entire life. And they hint at it, but before they can really elaborate on it, boom, movie over. And even though the movie is so good that I really, really forgive it, that's the kind of thing that still sets this apart from a Pixar movie, because Pixar would explore that. Pixar always take the hard issues and actually explore them in their movies. Disney are sort of easier and don't want to scare kids away. And I understand why they did that with this movie, because this is the second most expensive movie ever made. $260 million went into this movie. The only other movie that beat that is Avatar. I mean, I didn't know that until today. I'm like, what? $260 million? Really? Okay. Worth it. I'm actually going to cut this short because I'm almost at my minute limit again. I could sit and talk about this movie for hours, but I got to stop now. I have a Dead Space review that I'm going to have to try and cut or maybe reshoot and get up, and I will have some other things up. I'm going to go see King's Speech next week, Morning Glory as well, and again, I will see Tangled again. I might even post another thought on Tangled. We'll just have to wait and see. I'm going to go to bed now because I'm going to start work tomorrow very early. Have a good one, guys, and go see Tangled if you haven't already.